ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. आरभ्यताम्.
अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः भक्तियोगः। अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ताये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां युक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेताः स्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते
सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः।
अभिनंदनम अभिरामाय. I am very happy to receive you all on this Bhanuvasara Satsanga, mainly focused on synthesis of yoga, with a special reference to Bhakti Yoga today. Already it is intimated to you by our the organizer's friend, Mr. Anand Desai. He motivated all of us to remember those days when our alumni, Puru Chhatra Parishad Sadasyaha of Janaseva, were chanting the 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga. As just now we listened to it by Abhirama here. We are just continuously participating in this satsanga so that already it is very much connected to the context. What is that context? Previous context and future references. That is how we have to make it linked. The 11th chapter, it was mainly focused on Vishwarupa Yoga, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. So there, Bhagavan told, after having shown his omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent, Sarvajna, Sarvashakta, Sarvavyapta, that form he has shown to him. We also have the glimpse of it. Even though we are just ordinary participants, achievers, not so much highly yogic essentially, but we also have this approach. When our mind becomes little bit highly sublimated, we will not be confined to some limited understanding. We go beyond. Our mind naturally becomes beyond. Trivial understanding. Trivial. ಅತಿ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ದೈನಂದಿನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳ ಜಾಲದಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. When we will be in the company of great masters on whom we have so much deep sense of trust and faith. Likewise, while mingling with very innocent children who will be very much free from ego problems and all such limited understanding, just they smile by seeing everyone. There also our mind gets little bit. There we just go inside. Sometime when we just sit somewhere in very natural place on the bank of some holy rivers or on the ambience around oceanic scenario, samudra tira, nadi tira, parvatagra, there naturally our mind becomes little bit universal. That there will not be trivial there. So while explaining it, I just want to refer to a book written by Frijo Capra, a great scientist in that tradition of Einstein's theory of everything. Frijo Capra has written a book called Tao of Physics and Turning Point. 2 books, very, very important. In this century, these 2 books are highly referred by all great scholars. Whether they are scientists or philosophers, they will be very happy and very much proud of referring to those books written by Frijo Capra. Tao of Physics, it is very much referred there. In that introductory part of the book, Frijo Capra explains his own experience when he was just somewhere in the very solitary place, very calm and quiet atmosphere, ambience of seashore, somewhere. He goes to that trance level, it is called transcendental level, supramental level. He is not some philosopher or spiritual master. He is only nuclear scientist, very famous. So he was very much expert in Einstein's theory of everything. So he has given that quantum physics. He gave his own dimension to quantum physics. That type of great scientist he is, but he goes to that trance level. In that atmosphere, he says that his own experience, it is in the preface of that book, it will be very attractive, very much highly inspiring to all our people who study Bhagavad Gita. Because here, Arjuna got that vision of Bhagavad Swarupa, Vishwavyapta, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. But that scientist, man like Frijo Capra, he was in that trance condition, trance level. He feels that every first articles are divided into many, and then he goes to that particle level. Particles also, naturally, they converted into energy. They lose their original form, and just he looks at the flow of water, and whole flow of water getting energized. Like that, he will be looking at the mountain ranges, all those trees, plants, herbs, they also become one with that energy form, universal. That is how this type of transcendental experience he enjoys for hours together. And in some point of time, he feels that every particle vibrating, vibrating, vibrating. We have to study from his own word there in Tao of Physics book's name is that one. So his experience becomes so transcendental. He feels that every particle, cross particles vibrating, vibrating, the whole world vibrating around him. That type of experience he feels there. That afterwards he says, this is what Indians, great rishis, they branded it as Shiva Tandava, the same word he uses. Shiva Tandava. Shiva Tandava is not something dance. Actually, this is Tandava of every particle. So, vibration of every particle, it is called Shiva Tandava. See this language and his narration, how he puts it. The same experience we can see here when Partha, very ordinary seeker, great warrior, he was not ready first, but Bhagavan gave him Divyam Chakshuhu. Then he started seeing all this in his own personality. Ultimately, after having seen, he says, Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugapad Utthita Yadi Bhaha Sudrishi Sasyad Bhasastasya Mahatmanaha. This is from the word of Partha or Sanjaya. Feeling was like that, as if thousands of suns rising in the sky in one point of time, simultaneously. That type of form I could see in you. That is what Arjuna says. Divi Surya Sahasra, thousands of suns. Bhaved Yugapat. Yugapat means simultaneously. In one stroke, all thousands of suns burning. You just imagine. Only one sun burning. What is that? We know. Yadi bhasrishi sasyad bhasastasya mahatmana. That illumination of Bhagavan Krishna, Vishwarupa Darshana, it is compared to that scenario where thousands of the sun, solar bodies rising in the sky. This one Partha describes, that is how he describes. And here you see the man of 20th century, a scientist, followers of Einstein, he sees this. So every particle vibrating. So ultimately, Krishna says, Mama Tejomsha Sambhavam. Everywhere it is my energy, my own energy only, alone. So that every particle and the material form, matter has no self-existence. Everything is essentially energy. Apparently matter, essentially energy. That is the statement. Bhagavan concludes the 10th chapter, and the same thing it is exhibited in the 11th chapter. So actually, 10th chapter deals with philosophy part of spiritual science, and the same thing it is followed, and you can see its own exhibition in the 11th chapter. Demo. Whatever he explained, the same thing demonstrated in the 11th chapter. So after having shown that universal form, after having witnessed this scenario, Partha says, I was not knowing, I considered you as my friend, Ajanata Mahimananta Vedam. And I got only that friendship. Pramadat, that is why that was my limited understanding. Now I came to know what you are. After this submission by Partha, Krishna says, Matkarma Krit, Matparamaha, Madbhaktaha, Sangavarjitaha, Nirvairaha, Sarvabhuteshu. Now you know, you already understood this concept of universality. Matter is only very much limited understanding. It is essentially energy. That is what our Upanishadic great masters told. Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. All these statements you can see in the Upanishads. In Bhagavad Gita, it is repeatedly told. But that highest, purest philosophy of that universal concept, how it is to be reflected in our day-to-day life, that is the question. That question again, it is bothering Partha. That is why here he raises that question. In very beginning of 12th chapter, you can see that inquisitiveness of Partha there. That is why just now we chanted that sloka. So two type of people I could know, Satata Yuktaha, Aksharopasaka. Some people, they are very much committed people. How do they become committed people? Because they have their own goal fixed in front of their eyes. For that they strive hard. If someone wants some mission he keeps in his life, for that day and night he puts his effort and achieves. So my aim is to develop some farming so that he puts all his strength. And someone wants to become great actor, there he puts his strength. Someone wants to become great singer, for that he undergoes so much hard training and achieves. These are called Satata Yukta. Satata means permanently, Yuktaha committed. One man, one mission, such people. They are one type of bhaktas. That is what we study such great stories. Some farmer, he was considered as great devotee by Mahavishnu. So while talking with great Bhakta Narada, Sriman Narayana mentions about that farmer. Immediately Narada develops some sort of inferiority. I know that I am the real devotee, ardent devotee of you, Mahavishnu, Sriman Narayana. How can you refer to some farmer somewhere in some village in Bhutala? Then I have to study. Then Sriman Narayana says, you go and study him. Just observe his life style from dawn to dusk. What does he do? Then he goes to his hermitage and just goes on watching and watching. That farmer gets up, Narayana Namaha, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Just he offers his pranama and remembers. Then immediately he starts going to the cow shed and serving milking and all these things and cleaning that cow shed and making supplying green grass to the cow. That is how he starts. Go seva. Then he goes to his farm area field. There he goes digging and all this watering, irrigation and all this activity he undertakes. And like that the whole day he does. Again in the middle of noon day, his wife brings some food stuff and there only he takes. And while taking that food only again he will be offering some prayer to God, Sriman Narayana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Then he takes that lunch and again starts his work. After having offering so much hard work to Bhu Puja, so Go Seva, Bhu Seva, Parisar Seva, Sasya Seva, everything, he comes back to his house and before he goes to sleep, he just offers Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, goes to sleep. This one he has observed almost staying with him in some small disguise of some creature. He is sitting in his house and observing, following the whole day to day activities of that farmer. Then he goes back to Vaikuntha and complains against that man. That story goes like this. Then Sriman Narayana, he reports it to him. He is just 2-3 times he remembers you. Every time with my veena and all instrument, I am singing your songs only. No turn, even a fraction of a second is wasted. I am always remembering you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, it is in mind. And day-to-day activity. Nothing else I do. Oh, then you consider like ordinary farmer as great bhakta. What is this? And then like ordinary story, very interesting story goes. Then Sriman Narayana gives a vessel filled with oil and gives some task work just to take that vessel filled with oil to some house. Then he says, even a drop must not be wasted, and you have to be very careful, and you have to pass on and take it to that fellow's house. That is what happens. Then he takes that vessel filled with oil, and his one pointed mind, it is only fixed on that vessel and oil drops, and Narayana's order given to him, he has to be very careful. There only his mind was there. And after all day, he followed. Oh, you told me I have furnished my work, accomplished that duty given to me. That is what he says. Then Narayana asks him, Oh Bhakta Grace Narada, how many times you could remember me and how many times you chanted Sriman Narayana, Namo Narayana, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? No. He could not. Oh, no, you have given that work and that was my main duty, and you told me not to waste even a drop of oil, so that I have carefully accomplished whatever you have given that work. See, there only Narayana gives proper lesson to great devotee. That is why it is not that only chanting and chanting and chanting, but even that commitment, unshakable. Whatever work entrusted to us, that we accomplish, furnish it. Successfully we give final touch to that work. That type of commitment, which is not at all shaken, and where he will be one pointed, always single pointed performer. That is Satata Yukta. So Arjuna's question is very interesting. He is our representative. He is asking this question. You all young people, you have your own small home industries. You have your own farming houses. I think some of you have your own business area where you know how much you have to be careful. Even a day or somewhere, if your mind is engaged, otherwise you don't give proper due care for that, immediately there will be very great loss. So that is why you will be always watchful. Satata Yukta. So you only studied that Bhagavad Gita. This is the real master key word of 12th chapter. Now, please understand. But it is a part of question. Evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paryupasati. Ye chapi aksharam avyaktam teshan yogamittam. Some people, they always go for transcendental level. They are not focused on some ordinary duties like managing their own family or managing their own small industries or some field work, some the task given to them, some company work, all this you will be naturally doing. But there also you will be totally committed. Then only you can accomplish. All of you have that experience. Our alumni, Janaseva people, you know this. So that for any type of success in any chosen field of duty work, this is very, very satata yukta. Satata yukta. Satatam. Sadakala. Manasu. One pointed. One man, one mission. Idi illadene ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಿ touch and go, touch and go. Many people are like this. Very bad. This touch and go business never helps. Satata yukta. So once you take up some mission, you cannot go aside. Every time you will be alert. That type of commitment is very much needed. Satata yukta. For our day-to-day functions and duties, this is very, very important. No doubt. Even for this type of commitment also, we must go for Nitya Manasa Snana. Another point I am taking now. Nitya Manasa Snana. Every time we must go for mental bathing. That is what great Kannada Purandaradasa Manava ತೊಳೆಯಬೇಕು ನಿತ್ಯ ಶೋಧಿಸಬೇಕು ನಿತ್ಯ. That is the statement from great ದಾಸವರೇಣ್ಯ ಪುರಂದರದಾಸ. ಮನವ ಶೋಧಿಸಬೇಕು ನಿತ್ಯ. For ಮನವ ಶೋಧಿಸಬೇಕು, certainly we must plug to the higher centers. Just like this farmer story goes like that. He is one-pointed, totally focused on his duty, but at the same time, as soon as he gets up early in the morning, just he remembers that Sarvajna, Sarvashakta, Sarvatmaka, one who is there in his Hridaya Pundarika, lotus flower of his own heart. He is there, Bhagavan is there. That Bhagavan he remembers, contemplates on him. Then just rubbing hands and just to makes his own body active and goes for some pranayama. Then takes very healthy food, makes himself energized, equipped, because he has to go to the field and start working. I have seen such great people in my village. In my village, Yellapur Taluk, Kotemane, where we were, there were 14 houses. All of them, they were farmers. They got their own field, paddy field, or coconut field. In the same time, they were having duty of Bhagavan, because they all have duties to Shivan Mahaganapati temple there in that village. So, in some months or weeks, they have to do that one. So that all 14 houses, all that middle-aged fathers or grandfathers, they have had that duty. So they get up early in the morning, go to Bhagavan's temple and offer puja and abhisheka and kalpokta puja. For that again they have to do so much work, 1 or 2 hours. Then they go to Goshala. My own father was doing like that. Then they go to the field and start farming. So this plugging to Bhagavan, that highest spiritual center, that sense of devotion, it is very, very important. That is why in our day-to-day program in Jan Seva also, you were trained like that. So you came from different family background, but here early in the morning you were made awakened. Some of you it was very difficult to adjust to those things, but many of you, your friends only, they have written an article about how RGB master, some school master was waking up early in the morning by singing some song. Some have written such articles and published in some paper also. I was so happy because those things they remember. And you were all doing yoga abhyasa, and in the first, second, third, 70, 1972, 73, 74, 75, in those years, in Janseva ambience, that cottage was there, Vivekananda cottage, and Maruti cottage. So in Vivekananda hall, they were doing Pratasmaranam, chanting the Vedas, Shraddha Suktam, they were chanting. Then they used to go to Maruti Hermitage. They were doing big exercises, many of them. Regularly Surya Namaskar and some Danda, Baski, they were doing, guided by our great Vyayama Shikshaka, our Rajapaji. I am very happy to mention his name now. And that is how that discipline followed. Then you go to the field and run. Some of you were good runners and experts in high jump, long jump, like that, good in kabaddi. That is how many of you could achieve. In Sharirika Vidya, it is one of very great Vidya in our tradition. Like that, many of you were good in mathematics. Some were very good in Sanskrit. Some students, they got scored 150, 148 marks out of 150 in Sanskrit, Kannada and all languages also. And whatever accomplishment, success, high rate success, that is A plus, A double plus, A triple plus, like that, you must be Satata Yukta only. Otherwise, you can't do it. Satata Yukta means totally committed. Touch and go, very difficult. That's why always I tell, if you want to get good water, then you must continuously dig somewhere in particularly earmarked place. So digging here, so some stone comes hard, so that to leave it and to another, go to another field and there also again start digging. So some stone and hard surface comes, immediately you stop and go to another place. Where to get water? Impossible. So this type of touch and go business never fetches any result, never yields any outcome, any crop, you cannot get it. That is why Nitya Yuktaha Upasate. Nitya Yukta, that is very, very important. And another one is Aksharam Avyat. Tesham ki yoga vittamaha. That is the question Partha asks. Who is the real yogi? You tell us. Then Bhagavan says, this is very difficult. This Aksharopasana is difficult for you all because you are all ordinary people. You are not yogis in the Himalayas. You are just performers in the villages and cities, family life. There you must have this particular quality, Satata Yukta, Nitya Yukta Upasate. That is very, very important. This particular question we have to take first of all. And question and whatever thought process behind that question. Because question coming from Arjuna. Arjuna is asking this question. That too after having studied so many yogas. The second one, it was Jnana Yoga. The third chapter and fourth, fifth, it was Karma Yoga. Then sixth chapter, it was Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. Like that, there are Purushottama, many other yogas. Raja Yoga, Raja Vidya, Raja Gukhyam, and Vibhuti Yoga. It is in the 10th chapter. Then Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, it is in the 11th chapter. That is how so far we could attend. We could gain some glimpses we could get. It is good. After having traveled hitherto, gaining some glimpse of knowledge, some light of knowledge, now we are entering this 12th chapter. I am very happy because some of you, many of you, I think, carry that remembrance of 12th chapter. One of the students, Prasanna, R. Prasanna from Bangalore, he was there somewhere in America. He belongs to the second or third batch of this Amara Janaseva. So he just came after 10, 15 years from Los Angeles, I think. He was there somewhere. And coming to our Sindhu Kripa Janaseva, I was there, and he just started submitting this shloka. He told me, "Sir, my RGB master, I came here just to report this." "What is that, friend? Tell me." I told him. He told, "Now also I remember 12th chapter which you taught here, and all those shlokas, it is in my mind. Every day I chant, recite this. Now I want to tell you, before you I submit." He immediately started, Arjuna Vacha. He started. Evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paryupasate. And up to last shloka, he adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukha kshami. These are all definition, lakshana of bhakta. So Krishna goes on defining the real characteristics of a devotee. Satata yukta, one who is very much ardent follower of duty, highly committed man, how he does. That is how he goes. Maitraha, Karunaha. Like that, all qualities he goes on and listing. Yo mad bhakta same priya. Yo mad bhakta same priya. One who got this type of characteristics, this type of set of mind, he is the most beloved man, beloved devotee to me. That is what Krishna goes on telling more than 10 slokas. Yo mad bhaktasme priya. Bhaktasme ativa me priya. That is the last statement. Ativa me priya. They are most beloved devotees to me. That is how this whole gamut of slokas from this 12th chapter it goes. See, it is very practical for us in our life. We are Satata Yukta and Nitya Yukta. Okay, it is very great. Great philosophy and science behind it also I just told. But what is that psychological insight in this? What is that synthetical area? What is that yogic synthesis in this? Embedded in this? One very, very important master keyword here, it is Abhyasa Yoga. Remember this. You just understood its verbal area, but what is that master key word that is to be understood? Very interestingly, one thing we have to understand, in every chapter there are some master keywords. That keyword also depends upon someone's choice, someone's aptitude and attitude. You are all in the business and farming and in all these areas or corporate houses and somewhere. You are all family members. You are not some spiritual masters in some spiritual centers. And we also in Janaseva, we are all Sangha Karyakartas and we have that mission. Sangha has entrusted to take up a Gurukula project to me. And now we have another very important duty of bringing a novelty in Janaseva. So Sangha tells, After completion of 50 years in Jan Seva, you must go for establishing some nationwide, which have application at nation level. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಪ್ರಕಲ್ಪವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಜನಸೇವಾದವರು. That project you undertake after completion of 50 years, which can touch every nook and corner of this whole Bharat. Not only Bharat, many of you are in America, in many other countries also. So that which is very much helpful for this whole sea of humanity. So it must be health center, yoga or yaga or nana prayoga. New things we have to go for that. That is why we must go for INI. This word you must understand. INI means institution of national importance. You can think of this. Just now I am sharing with you because I am in this world. Even in the whole higher education level, we have all these structures. Even the higher education level, university is not higher. Beyond that, it is INI, Institution of National Importance, like Indian Institute of Science, Indian Institute of Technology, IIMs, Indian Institute of Management. Such popular, very popular, highly respected centers we have inside Bharat. Outside also we have Massachusetts Institute of Technology in America or Harvard University, Cambridge, all these centers also highly, very competent centers there. I visited those centers also. But in Bharat we have these type of things, INI structures. Their contribution to society highly laudable. For example, now we have all these DRDO. How much now that too for health sector, for security sector, where we have so much challenges, highly critical conditions we are facing. That thing they are giving contribution. So new things now, many such Agni and all such things they are launching. And now their contribution even to this health sector also. That type of institutions are called INI. After that it is central universities. Then it is universities under UGC and under universities sponsored by central government, sponsored by state government, and autonomous universities like deemed to be universities, totally autonomous universities, they are called private universities. All these various hierarchies are there, categories are there. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಜನಸೇವಾ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ 72ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 8ನೇ ತರಗತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಶಾಲೆಯಾಗಿ ಆರಂಭಗೊಂಡದ್ದು. ಆದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಇದು ಸಂಘದ ದೀಕ್ಷಾ ಶಿಕ್ಷಾ ಭೂಮಿ. ಸಂಘದ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಸೇವಕರು ಹಂಡ್ರೆಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳ ಇದ್ದು, ಹೋಲ್ ಮಂತ್ ದೇ ವರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಜನಸೇವಾ and they got that ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ದೀಕ್ಷಾ and ಶಿಕ್ಷಾ. ಚರ್ಚಾ, Bauddhic, everyday Shakha, Sanghasthan, there they were undergoing all activities. Niyuddha, Danda Vidya, all Sharirika Vidya, Bauddhika Vidya, Vaicharika Vidya, various kinds of Vidyas. That type of training program conducted by Sangha. Many of you also have undergone there. That was the main focus of Janaseva, not only just conducting some SSLC center or some school, like ordinary school. Now also again we go beyond that one. All great well-wishers and elders from Sangha, Jeshthas, they are giving this type of inspiration to all of us. There we want your own feeding, your own role. So now you also must be ready to see this reincarnation for Jan Seva. That is only possible if we all Satata Yukta and Nitya Yukta. Same thing, same old thing. No. Because education is compared to ever flowing stream of water. Nowhere stagnated. If water is stagnated somewhere, that water will be polluted. Education cannot be like that. Just preparing some tutorial centers, the same textbooks, it never gets changed. For decades together, same portion. Teachers also get bored and students also get bored. Same thing. No novelty. Pasatanaviಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಾಗಿ ಭಯಾನಕ ಯುದ್ಧ. This is very small purpose. This is also very much needed. Unless we get that type of get gate pass, we cannot go for higher education. Even you, some of you who got that higher education, you also first you must get that, no doubt. I respect that one. But Jan Seva, which is Rashtriya Diksha and Shiksha Bhumi, must go beyond it. That is what now thinking is going on. That's why while conducting this Dwadashodhyaya Bhakti Yoga, I am just sharing my thoughts with you, all of you, because this is the thing I wanted to share with. It is not only some pravachana somewhere in temples. Oh, Bhagavan is there, he will be giving this, that, this vara and this prasada and this tirtha and this. That always, that is good thing. I have respect. But in the same time, we are karma yogis. We are bhakta yogis. Satata yuktaha, nitya yuktaha. So that what is our main activity, action plan is Abhyasa Yoga. That is the master keyword in this particular chapter. Because slokas, some of you might have remembered now, but here, if you go to sloka number 9, Abhyasa yogena tato mamichhaptum dhananjaya Abhyasepi asamarthosi matkarma paramo bhava. All these slokas are there. That Abhyasa Yoga. What is that concept behind it? Abhyasa means what? The same. Something you take up with proper understanding, with proper preparation, with proper guidance, with special reference to its consequences. After having checked in the mechanism of shortlisting, you arrive at some confirmed ideas, and that idea cannot be some Akasha Purana in the imaginary condition. It must be implemented in your day-to-day activity. That is how you go. But once you accept, take it as a mission, Abhyasa, same thing you repeatedly go on. Someone was telling, somewhere in Kaveri area, Kaveri belt, water will be flowing in very much concentrated area for thousands of years. Meke Datu, that place is called Meke Datu near Kanakapura. If you go there, naturally even some Ishwaralinga and so many other structures, so many statues, naturally structured. Because continuously thousands of years, in the midst of that rocky mountain, water is flowing. So consequently, all such art pieces naturally upsurged. ಕಲ್ಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಅನೇಕ ವರ್ಷ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯ ನಡೆದರೆ ಅಂತಹ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಹಜ ಕಲಾಕೃತಿ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸತತಯುಕ್ತ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಯುಕ್ತ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನು ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಜೋಡಿಸಿ ಅದರಂತೆ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಾಗ ಸರ್ಟನ್ಲಿ ವಿ ರೀಚ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್. ಅಂತಿಮ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ತಲುಪುವುದು ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ. ಈ ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ಭಗವಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಥ್ರೂ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಯೋಗ. Let us take up still more insightful discussion later on. Today you can have free discussion, free appreciations. You can ask some questions also, or you can share your own experiences in the context of this much deliberation. Ball is in your court now, friends, please. Still we have about 5 to 8 minutes. Yes, please, welcome. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬರೀ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಸತ್ಸಂಗ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್, ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಷನ್, ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಮ್ಮದು. ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಜನಸೇವಾ 50ನೇ ವರ್ಷ ಕಣ್ಮುಂದಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತಿಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಶೇರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್.
Acharya, there is a question in the chat from Rajeshwari Parla. She is asking, please mention psychosynthesis concept in Bhagavad Gita. So overall, what are all the concepts, psychosynthesis concepts in Bhagavad Gita?
Only 2 words we have to understand: synthesis and analysis. Analysis means you just divide and understand. Synthesis means you make it totally harmonized, because our personality is like that. When you drive some what's that bus, Volvo bus driver, how does he drive? He only applies his leg, his hand, more than that his brain, his emotions. So he becomes a very successful driver. There is no someone is pulling accelerator, someone pushing brake, someone is just driving this, that. No, only one single person sitting in some corner. He drives that bus even in Charmodi Ghat. Why? It is because of that synthetical ideas he got. He is trained like that. Like that, life also, it is totally synthetic. Although there are many yogas, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga. Like that in our life also, someone will be farmer, someone will be businessman, someone will be student, someone will be teacher, employer, employed, dharmika, karmika, many aptitudes, areas different. But when we think about success, it is synthetical thinking. It is not only analytical. ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಯೋಗ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಸತತ ಯುಕ್ತರಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. 2 ಅಂಶ. ಈಗ ಇವತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದಂತಹ 2 ಅಂಶಗಳು ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ಅದನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಇದು ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರತು ಕೇವಲ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಭಗವಾನ್ಸ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟರಿ, ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಜೀವನ ಧಾರಾ, it is totally integrated. It is very much synthetic. It is not divide and understand. It is synthesize and understand. Synthesize and understand. ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ತಿಳಿಯುವುದು ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್. ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ಒಡೆದು ತಿಳಿಸೋದು ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್. That is how these 2 words we have to understand.
थैंक यू महोदय, धन्यवादः।
ज्ञातं?
जातं जातं।
किं ज्ञातं वदतु स्वकीयवाक्येन।
Psychology, I thought because in our college we have psychology subject, so topic I liked very much by seeing the message one of my colleague from Samskrita University has shared it on his WhatsApp status. So why can't I take this topic and make the students also talk on the webinar? I am giving so many activities, so I have clarified, sir. ನೀವು ತುಂಬಾ ಜ್ಞಾನವೃದ್ಧರು, ವಯೋವೃದ್ಧರು.
ನಾನು ಯುವಕ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಜ್ಞಾನವೃದ್ಧರು ಒಂದೇ, ಜ್ಞಾನವೃದ್ಧರು. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೈವ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಗೆ ಚಾಮರಾಜಪೇಟೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ, ಶಾರದಾ ಭಟ್, ನಾರಾಯಣ್ ಭಟ್ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಸೊ
ಶುಭಮಸ್ತು. ನೀವು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಆರಂಭದಿಂದ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಇದು. ನಾನು ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, 6 ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಪ್ರಕಟ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಯೋಗ ಇನ್ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಅಂತ 2ನೇ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಎಂದು ತಯಾರಿಗಾಗಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಜನಸೇವಾ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು 106 ಜನ ಇಡೀ ದೇಶ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಾದ್ಯಂತ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಉಳಿದವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಕೊಡಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬರೀ ಹಳೆಯ ಕಾಲದ ಶೈಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಈಸ್ a workbook for synthesis of yoga, very much applicable to our day-to-day programs and activities.
Thank you, sir. Amazon ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ತರಿಸಬಹುದಾ ಸರ್ ಬುಕ್?
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆನಂದ್ ಅವರು, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಮಾತಾಡಿ. ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಐ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಜನಸೇವಾ ಹಿರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಬಳಗದ ಸಕ್ರಿಯ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ನಾನು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಇವತ್ತು. ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಜೂಬ್ಲಿಗೆ ಜನಸೇವಾದ 50 ವರ್ಷದ ಇತಿಹಾಸದ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೀಗ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊರಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ? ಪೂರ್ಣಮಂಡಲಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹೊರಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಗುರುಕುಲ ಅರ್ಧಮಂಡಲ, ಜನಸೇವಾ ಪೂರ್ಣಮಂಡಲ, ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ತರಬಹುದು. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೀ ಕೇವಲ ನಾವು ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಜೀವನ ಕರ್ಮಯೋಗ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬಾಳಿಗೊಂದು ಮಾರ್ಗಸೂಚಿ, ಅಪ್ಲೈಡ್, ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಮಿಯರ್ಲಿ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಲಿವ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್, ಪಾರ್ಥ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಲಿವ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಲಿವ್ಡ್ ದೇ ಶೇರ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೇ ಆಫ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಸರಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ, ಕೇಳೋಣ, ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರೋಣ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಶಾಂತಿ ಮಂತ್ರದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಏನು ಆಗ್ಬೋದಾ ಆನಂದ್ರೆ?
ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಆಚಾರ್ಯ.
ಹಾ, ಓ 5 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಖಾ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಮುಕ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸರ್ವೇ ಭವಂತು ಸುಖಿನಃ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಸಂತು ನಿರಾಮಯಾಃ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಭದ್ರಾಣಿ ಪಶ್ಯಂತು ಮಾ ಕಶ್ಚಿತ್ ದುಃಖಭಾಗ್ ಭವೇತ್. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಶ್ರೀ